He mixes it.
Hello and
Love
welcome.
Makes the world taste good.
Welcome to a new podcast on the Drop Dead Podcast
The
Network.
Candyman?
It's
The Candyman.
it's no, it's In the Chips.
Oh,
Is the working title right now.
with the Andy Man.
and with Andy, the Milkman OTTESEN. Welcome.
Yes, hello.
It sounds
You can
dirty.
talk a little louder.
No, you do you.
Yeah, you do. I'm just gonna turn you up because you didn't even pick up on the thing.
Oh.
Whose phone is ringing?
Oh. No, I heard that too. That was like a little...
It's mine, Miracle House. The
Little
boys.
feedback.
The boys.
I'll call them back, don't worry.
So the theme of this podcast, well, one, it's a new podcast, but in the chip, we're just getting together. We're getting to know people. We're shooting the shit. We're talking about life, love, weird shit.
Weird
talking
shit.
The universe,
Probably
aliens.
weird,
Yeah, love.
Crazy,
Probably not a lot of love or life. Probably
No.
more.
uncomfortable things that
Yeah.
people don't normally like to talk about.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's so Andy,
Yes,
one
yes.
of our close friends. So me and Greg have been like studying Mormonism and learning how fucked up and crazy it is. And Andy grew up in the church.
That's true. I did.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. So it trips me out, and like it. The more I looked into it, it's just a big old cult.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, nowadays, like, not as much as it was in the beginning, but we definitely try to cover up all of our church history and all of
Absolutely.
our, like,
The
how it
culty
began.
beginnings.
Yeah.
Oh, the old
And
blood
it's-
atonements.
Yes, and it's crazy because now a lot of the stories that had been like covered up are kind of like coming to light. So there's a lot of like, I don't know,
A lot of covering up to be
Ye-
doing.
Yes, there's a lot of uncovering
And that-
or
right.
covering up.
And then they're like, well, that,
Yeah, there's a lot of that. There's a
Yeah.
lot of that going on, and
that was okay, but then the prophet spoke and then it wasn't, so we're good.
Yeah, like some of the massacres, right? The like Indians and that whole thing wasn't uncovered. What's it
Oh,
called?
yeah.
the Mountain Meadows massacre.
Yes,
but
it was
I,
like the '90s they found out about it.
yeah, there's a lot of those. But I think what makes me like laugh, kind of, or I don't know what the word is, but like all the times the prophets have prophesied the end of the world, it's been like 4 or 5 times of like absolute like the world will end in 18 something and then 19 something and then
Yeah.
the world was gonna end and
Well,
And
that's
it doesn't.
That's classic cult.
Well,
I
you
mean,
gotta
so-
if you're building to something, it keeps people focused on something. Like we gotta be good until the end, and then you can just keep pushing the date off,
Yeah.
well,
and then they're
well, for me, growing up, like, that's something that, like, we all thought is that the end of the world was going to be in our lifetime. Like,
You fully believe that?
yeah, that was going to be in my lifetime that I would see, and that they detailed, like, everything that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Did you
Like
you
what?
fear? I'm sorry. Did you fear the end of the world, or was it because you were the chosen? You
Yeah.
guys were good.
Yeah.
No,
you
we
guys are
were
good.
safe.
Everyone else was fucked.
So was there
Yeah.
anything a Jew could do? Like even if they were like, "I'm Mormon now," you're like, "No, you're Jew."
I mean,
Jews
you
are-
could go on a mission and have people convert to Mormonism.
Well,
Yeah,
that's-
but I think the Jews are like the big no-nos.
Oh, I don't know about Jews. I just
well, yeah, Jews crucified Jesus.
Yes,
man.
exactly.
That's like,
Yeah,
you can't do that.
I'm Jewish.
there's no coming back.
There's
So-
no coming back.
Yeah,
But they're like
there's nothing-
sympathetic. It's like a weird kind of a thing that we feel about the
Was
Jews
it-
because it's like they're the chosen people, but
Mm-hmm.
because that's
Is
what
it- has
Jesus
it-
said. But
Has
they
it gotten better? Or, like in the beginning of Mormonism, was it like against the Jews? Was that gnarlier for a
It's
time
against
period?
It was yeah. It wasn't.
Yeah,
Wasn't specific.
I mean,
non-Mormons.
not so much the Jews. They came down really hard on the Catholics.
Yeah.
There's like a scripture in Mormonism that talks about the whore of the earth. The Catholic
Nice.
Church is the whore of the whole earth.
We usually judge those we are similar to, so that's interesting. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Is there similarities?
Very much so. Very much so. But
Um,
but no, the end of the world was going to be crazy because the end of the world meant that everyone who had died would be resurrected. So the whole earth
sick.
would be populated with
Mormons.
perfect humans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, all the
Yeah.
dead Mormons.
Well,
So-
no, that's the thing. That's like part of the plan for like everybody, even if you're not a Mormon, like everyone gets resurrected. That's like
Okay,
part
but
of it.
then
But
so it
Just
just
be
goes
over.
back to what it is.
yes,
Are there just better people when they're reborn?
well, you're born, and they say the veil is lifted. That's what they say. Like when you're resurrected, the veil will be lifted.
You've seen
so-
the other side, so now you're
Yeah.
pure.
Now you know.
No, you're no. Now you're part of like
The bigger plan.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so
there's no Jews.
But they would
Money.
have like we would have like pamphlets and we would sing songs about it and like
Oh my god.
no,
Did you have
And-
coloring books
and
of End of Days?
I'm sure there was probably some version of that for kids.
Did you guys somewhat look forward to the end of time?
I mean, yeah, dude. Jesus comes
Right.
back. He's like the MVP
So you guys
of
were
this
like,
whole thing.
he's coming.
Yeah, he's coming. And it would be paradise on earth. That's what they say. It'd be
Oh, so
paradise
it
on
was something.
earth, so-
It was something to work towards.
Yeah, but we would have like these pamphlets, and they would just have like these people in white robes. Like you'd see like this like scenery of like grass and forest, and then everyone would be in these white robes, and like it would be kind of like
Yeah,
that, and that's what
like
we would sing.
Midsummer.
Yeah,
Oh,
maybe a little bit like that. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's just dropping fucking acid. And spoiler alert, but
and it was like because it was like it was beautiful. It was
Yeah.
like if you were into
Yeah.
it, I could see where you'd be like,
Yeah.
yeah, this is the fucking piece. Like this is my Eden.
But let's go back to the beginning then of Mormonism. Joseph Smith was a grave robber.
Yes.
A sire. He used a seer stone
Yes.
to see
Yeah.
treasures on people's land. So he was a con artist.
Yes.
And
Amazing con artist.
he had a way with words, a way with people, charisma, and he basically just made up some shit. He used other
Very,
religions. He used
very
Masonic,
convincing.
a lot of occultist stuff, and it evolved. But he kind of just
I don't even think that was his game plan from the get. He just started seeing stones. People fucking liked that.
Well, it's
no,
like
the seeing stones was a different thing.
Right.
We got the tablets.
But he got the feeling of people like
Yeah.
listening to him what he said, and he was
Yeah.
convinced.
I mean, they ran him out of town a bunch.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
when his shit
yeah,
didn't
once they're
happen.
like, oh wait, you can't see through that stone.
Right, you're not actually knowing the future.
Oh.
well, the setting was kind of set for it to be a success
Yeah.
because the reason is the early 1800s, right? So it's like this country was like very, very new, and you'd have like these revivals that would come through town, and so you'd have all these preachers and religion, and like that was just like so much a part of everything because like everything was so new, and it was like the fertile soil for like
Yeah.
this opportunity for this dude who like I still believe to this day had like I know he was like all these things like grave robber and everything, but like he had something like I don't know what that is, dude. The ability to manipulate so many people and
Oh,
be so convincing.
It's like a superpower.
It
Well,
is a little bit.
In my opinion, it's more that you're a sociopath. I think
Right.
it comes with
well,
like
it's either you murder a bunch
Yeah.
of people or you get a bunch of followers, or do both.
yeah, I think you have to have like a certain level of narcissism and sociopathy. Like I think if you have charisma, like we know people that are very charismatic, and if you combine that with narcissism and sociopathy, I think they could easily lead a cult.
Right.
And I think that's what it takes to be a cult leader.
Well,
is
he had
you
just the right
believe-
makeup of this, enough of this part of
Yeah.
what makes a person, enough of this to be just come like the type of person that everyone would follow. Well, not
Yeah.
everyone, but easily,
And there's I mean, and people like what Brigham Young kind of did it more with Iron Fist style.
Yeah.
He was more. It's crazy that there's a
Yeah.
college named after him.
Yeah.
He's a whatever you want to say about Mormonism and like values are probably you know what I mean, like the general Mormon person's a good but like Brigham Young is a terrible person.
Yeah.
He-
Was
Yeah, into blood atonement, fucking kids,
Oh yeah.
all that. I mean, he had multiple people killed. I don't know if he has any blood on his hands technically,
yeah.
but
Yeah, he does.
he does.
Yeah, I mean the Mountain Meadows thing was kind of
Was that
that
his
was
call?
yeah, that was kind of
Yeah.
him. And then also like all the stuff that like because the Mormon church is like notorious for covering shit up,
Yeah,
and history is kind of written by the church a lot,
Yeah.
like a lot of it. You know what I mean? Because they have access to all that stuff. I mean, all like the other than like the Joseph Smith being like convicted of being like they have
A
like
thief
a
and
thief.
shit.
Like all those are like you
Yeah.
can find that out. But
government.
like, yeah, dude.
But no, they wrote their own. Yeah, they wrote their
Well,
own
I think
history.
what happens is time reveals shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And technology and more people getting into things and
Yeah. Like in
everyone wants to disprove things and
like in 50 years, we'll probably find out something that the Mormon Church did right now. You know what I mean? Like time and looking back, people are able to see more truth.
Yeah.
But how many? 40 million worldwide, or is it?
I'm
something
trying
like that?
to look up some stuff right now. Let me see. I know it's not. Like for a while, it was crazy booming.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look that up. Mormon church population. It's crazy. Like they don't really like teach this per se, but like part of the culture is to have like a lot of kids and a lot of like
free
so
labor.
every Mormon family I've ever known is
Well, I
like
mean, it started
eight
as
kids.
that. It's actually they're really smart business people because they create their own industry and they have their own employees and they have a bunch of kids that work from a very young age and don't go to school. I mean, at least in earlier, 19th century, whatever. But that they're
It just
very
gets
wealthy.
carried on. Yeah.
They built. Oh, I saw an interesting fact. It
Well,
was
they're wealthy also, isn't it? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
that failed. There was a failed launch, like one of the first launches we did to the moon. One of the big ones that failed. The Mormon Church actually built the parts for it, and the kids were literally building parts for this rocket
For the space race.
And that was the one that was destroyed.
Shit.
So,
Shouldn't have kids do fucking
yeah,
in sweatshops.
but they were so good. Like they outbid everybody and got the contract.
Which is like, yeah,
Like, well, we have our children doing it, so we don't have to charge you.
Whoa.
as much. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they like right when the Mormon Church started, they bought a whole bunch of land in Hawaii, and they and then other places too. But the church has a lot of assets. Plus, you kind of have like everybody in the church who's successful is paying 10% of everything.
Doesn't everyone pay?
Yeah.
Is
have
it
to
10?
pledge 10%
Yeah,
of your
15,
yearly
yeah.
income.
10%. And then they say like not only that, but then every Sunday, I used to do this, you had like when you're 12 to 14, you go through this like period of time where you on Sundays you get paired up with somebody else your age and you go around this like area, all the members of the church, and you ask for fast offerings. You do that once a month.
Wait, so you go around during church?
No, during like after church on
Oh,
the
you'll go
Sunday,
around a neighborhood.
around the neighborhood, yeah.
Ask
For like, say for instance, if there's like a neighborhood of Mormons, you'll go to each one and you'll ask for fast offerings from the church. So it's like, and it's part of the culture to kind of give more than 10%, and your blessings or whatever are
So
kind of
there's a
contingent upon
belief-
how much you
yeah,
give.
It's
So
a
it's
belief
a lot
system
of,
based on like if I
Ew.
the more I give, the more religious or more
more
pure
heaven I
or
get.
more like
Yeah.
or like
Totally.
you give 10, you get back 20. Like tenfold comes back to you
and like
in
on
some way.
Yeah, and then like on Sundays, you'd have people, because like, okay, so like once a month, you'd have like a testimony meeting where it's fast and testimony when that's what they call it. So once a month, everybody fasts for a day, and then after church, you have like this big like everyone breaks their fast, but like during that church time,
Just throwing
they have like
fucking money
different.
at it.
Well, no, because they have a different way the church is set up. Instead of the speaker talking to everybody or like someone giving like a lecture or whatever at front, you have open time of like 45 to 50 minutes of people, whoever wants to get up and talk can talk. It's like it's like a open mic basically. So
It's like sharing a meeting.
yeah. And you can get up there and you're in front of everybody and you have these people like crying, telling you how much tithing has brought them so much, and you hear these stories about how I paid this and it was like my last like month of rent and blah blah blah, and I didn't know how, and then all
God
these
showed
stories.
up.
God
Yeah.
showed up, yeah. But I mean, that being said, like, I mean, I don't know.
Well,
dude.
that's a very common place in cults, religion. I mean,
Well, no, it's
from-
you
yeah.
give everything that
Yeah.
you are and you have,
Well, but
and
those
then
stories,
you get spiritual
Yeah.
connection from it.
yeah,
And, you know, I'm not saying I'm a believer that you help other people, you get spirituality back from that. But when it comes to money, then it turns. I don't know. It's a little twisted.
Yeah, it is.
people want to believe.
It's like you're paying for your faith.
Yeah.
Like faith is something that I think that is a belief thing, not like a. There's no monetary value on it.
yeah. And people, that's why it works, is people want to believe in something, and that's, of course, why religion has always worked, and why it's also a brilliant way to scam people.
Mhm.
It's the easiest. It's like you get somebody to believe in something and, like, have a reason to live, they'll give you everything.
Right. And then anything good that happens in their life, they are like, it's because of that.
Yeah.
It's not just by chance. It's not just
Oh, yeah.
energy. It is because I gave my last $20 to this, and now I'm getting it back in some sort of way.
My parents, they've done a lot of different, like, weird whatever stuff, and I remember we had this, like, Buddhist sect where they chanted. And you chant this one chant over and over and over, like, for hours. And I went to one of their meetings, and they were like, people were sharing, and this woman's like, yeah, and you imagine things you want in your life while chanting, right? You know, and she's like, yeah, I kept saying I want a Mercedes, and I'm sitting here with my life partner, and her name is Mercedes.
Didn't know it was going to come that way.
And people, oh my God. You know,
The power of the Lord.
yeah.
That's hilarious.
Hey, I'm curious about this.
It's like a dad joke.
Yeah.
You're obviously not a part of it. Your family is. At what age? At what age did you start, like, questioning Mormonism? And what and why?
Oh my God.
We're going there.
We're going. It's in the chips time.
Um,
Bring the milk.
Hey, the
I
Milkman's here.
guess like you kind of like from a young age, you're kind of in this weird position because like the church has kind of been like, it's kind of, everyone kind of knows it's kind of fucked up. And so like when anyone knows you're Mormon, it's like you're always questioned about it.
Yeah.
And like you're always talked to about it. And like if you have like teachers who know growing up, or you have like,
Is everything okay at home?
well, I mean, not, yeah, I mean,
They treat you
not
differently?
even that, but like, it's just like, it just puts you in a position for people to bust your balls, because it's like so easy to make fun of it, and it's so easy to poke holes in it, and it's so fun for people who know that. So I guess from a young age, I kind of always felt like not comfortable defending it, because I kind of felt like I don't really like I don't know, it's like weird, and I never really felt like that, like attached to it. I mean, I don't know, dude. I mean,
the only thing I can relate that with is growing up with very alternative medicine. My mom, you know, I didn't take antibiotics and or Tylenol or these things that everyone else took, and people knew that, and you know, there was some teasing or whatever.
Nick was the first stage of the non-vacciners.
Yeah.
Really?
You know what I mean? And I'm not. And I don't necessarily believe in homeopathy, and that's what I grew up with, but it's still ingrained in my mind. Like, I still almost sometimes will go to defend it.
You default to it.
Because it's like it was so pushed into my brain. Like, well, no, it's not like 100%. But, you know, there's times where it's worked, or times, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed that with you.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, wow. You know, I don't know if I'd...
I mean, at a young age, you're developing your brain, you're developing who you are as a person, and you're pushed into something, and you're told that this is the right way. Yeah. It's very hard for you to ever pull
I was told
completely away
not
from
to trust Western medicine, not to trust doctors. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So
I did not know that.
Yeah.
The only way I can relate is that
we into chips now, man.
Well, did you feel like for me, like I said, like I always felt like I had to defend it or some way, you know what I mean? Like, cause that's the thing, like, it's like this feeling of like I know it's true against all fucking facts. Like, that's kind of the point. It's like, what's that you?
Sorry, go on.
Pick that up
I'm
on the
hard, guys.
Well, no, dude, like you're, you know,
Yeah.
I know against everything, you know what I mean? And like, like, because it was like so hard to believe it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just took so much like.
When I think that's,
I believe it. You know what I mean? It's just like
Yeah.
this feeling of like letting go and
well,
like,
I think that's a natural progression. Is you fully believe in it. You're brainwashed, literally. I think, and then
Yeah.
you fight. You go against it 100%,
Then you
and then
question.
you come back to the middle.
Yeah, you question, or you don't come back. Where see with I had a similar thing where I grew up in going to church and had and then all of a sudden I start hearing. When I started questioning my religion was when I start hearing about the other religions, and I'm like, why is mine like theirs is bad? Why? Theirs seem just as cool and good.
Yeah.
So why is it that mine's saying that there's only this one when there's hundreds?
Well, that's good. I mean, that's most people they'll go there and take so much pride. You know what I mean? It's like
Right.
it
And I was
ingrains
never that deep.
pride.
My family was never
Yeah.
that deep, so it wasn't like a
Yeah, like I grew up Jewish, but not really. Like as soon as I got that bar mitzvah money, your boy was out. I told my parents, like, yeah, I'm anarchy. You know what I mean? I'm listening to Agnostic Front and fucking. I can't be,
You can't be going to to see
bad religion. And, I can't be
going to
Yeah.
what is it called?
temple.
Temple.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can't
tough,
go to
tough
temple.
one to remember.
Go
Well,
to
dude.
temple.
I mass temple.
Temple's same with y'all, right?
Well, yeah. I mean,
The temple.
The temple's a little more exclusive.
No, I mean, but it's
For the
called
big,
a
it's
temple.
for the big dogs.
Yeah, that's where the shit goes
Oh,
down.
that's where the
dog.
kid fucking and stuff happens.
Well, allegedly.
There's no. I don't. Maybe not. See, no.
He's
There's
like, no.
documented child fucking. So documented.
Yeah, I
Proof.
I mean,
yeah.
but then again, that every church, pretty much
Eh,
for the most.
eh,
I mean,
you know
dude,
which one?
Here's
Have you ever heard of it in the Jewish religion? Ever?
No,
Thank you.
I haven't.
I think
Yeah.
it's like it's anything.
Everyone's just okay
in-
with it. They're down with it. That's the
No,
thing.
because there's no like weird sex rules in Judaism. Well, there is with very conservative, but it's not as bad as
like
most.
Orthodox Jews.
Yeah, they're like. It's a weird thing where they can like
They
fuck,
pray
but
first.
like a sheet has to be between you, dude. It's
Oh, whole cut.
Really?
yeah. There's like weird shit.
There
You
you
have to,
go.
well, you have to cover yourself from God, kind of thing. Like
Oh, God can't see.
Dude,
Yeah.
that idea of being ashamed of your body and who you
Yeah.
are is like so fucking crazy.
Yeah.
yeah.
So crazy. Hide from God. Oh, God.
Yeah.
That's like.
Well, just any shaming God in general is just so fucked up. Like a God fearing God, period.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that's a
people
big
say
one,
I'm a
fear
dude.
God.
People I'm a
God-fearing Christian.
God fearing Christian. Like that? No.
My God's dope.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, I made him. He's my own.
Yeah, he be fucking. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? My God fucks.
My God just kicks it. We chat sometimes. He's a cool dude.
Yeah, like once a
What's
month.
he look like?
Every day. Every day.
Well, that's the thing, man. Like when I like got out of like when I like kind of made up my mind that it wasn't really for me, I didn't really believe in like anything.
Right.
Because like nothing really mattered. But I've kind of like since then had like.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I've been
My,
coming back to, like the extremes one way, and then you can kind of find a middle.
Yeah.
I've even found that in sobriety.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, I've only found spirituality in sobriety.
Yeah. But I mean, the
I believed in
extremes.
I was against all religion
Yeah.
after a certain point because I was like, if there's a God, he's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's where I went because things that happened in my life. So I was like, all right, well, fuck him.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
But even like extremism in sobriety, in brands of sobriety,
Mm-hmm.
kind of finding a middle
Oh yeah.
from
Well,
like
Any
the
extreme.
I think any extreme is so unhealthy with anything
Yeah.
that you do. Even if it's like, even like extreme religion, obviously religion is based, it's supposed to be
Unless
this beautiful
it's-
thing, and it's terrible.
unless
Extreme
it's
religion causes
sports.
the most wars in the world and death,
Yeah.
but it's because it's extreme. And then,
yeah.
extreme on with
Yeah.
anything you do,
I
I think
mean-
it's too much.
Yeah, I mean, wars and death are gonna happen no matter what. But
Right, but how many people die because of their religion?
yeah,
More than not.
they're gonna die for something. You know what I mean? Country, religion,
Yeah.
pride. That's
Yeah.
we're born to die.
Yes.
Andy, I was kind of
Coming in with
joking.
the
Andy
I'm
just
sorry,
came in
dude.
like,
You just.
yes.
You got me thinking about a bunch of shit. Man.
Come on, let's hear it.
Milkman, give me that milk.
Yeah, your boy's thirsty.
Mm.
Ugh.
Come on.
Just give me a topic, dude. Throw me out one of your thoughts.
Well, like,
Bro, did you were waiting for silence?
The timing was so good.
Oh, that was Nick farting again. if
But
you
it
weren't
was
aware.
like right when Andy was gonna say something.
He's like,
I was like, "Hey, you tell me," and then I went,
you purposely did that.
"Yes, absolutely."
Oh my God, we're in a closed room.
I can't smell it.
I'm just thinking about my Chinese food.
Oh God.
You getting deep about your Chinese food?
No. I'm thinking about. Do you think they'll call me?
No.
They won't.
If
You
you
can
don't
check your
pick,
map.
if you don't, jeez,
Oh, my map?
They'll show you where their car is.
Oh, get out of here! Really?
what have you never done
You've
this?
never done this?
No.
This is crazy.
Wait, what app are you using? Postmates?
No, I'm just.
Oh, you ordered directly from? No,
Oh,
they're
you
not
ordered
going
from
to
them?
tell you.
Yeah.
You didn't use Postmates?
No.
Oh,
Oh,
well,
I don't know.
yeah, they're probably at the front door.
Yeah,
There's-
you have no idea.
Dre may be in there.
They'll call you.
You think so?
Yeah.
I left my number on there.
May's gonna freak out. It's alright.
Dre's probably in there. He'll get the
Yeah.
door.
Oh, maybe I did use Postmates. I'm sorry, guys.
You should
You know?
be.
Just waiting on Andy.
And we're actually back.
We're actually back.
We're actually back. We had a little Chinese food checkaroo, a little argument about Chinese food and stuff, and it's fine, dude. You know what I mean? Like, some people, don't understand things, but we're back, dude.
Some people eat healthy.
Well, some people think soda is healthy.
No one's. no one
So
said that at
Andy,
all.
the
Yes.
Milkman, OTTESEN.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you grew up
We.
in the Mormon church, man.
Yes.
Come on, give us what's in your
We
head.
need
You're not
some-
telling us.
You're holding
You're
out on
sitting
us.
there thinking about it, and
You're
then
like-
you're not
Andy's
letting us
like,
know. This is
well,
a podcast.
I
This is
practice
time.
blood atonement.
This is the chips, bro. This is
Still.
like we're in the chips chatting about.
We in the chips, man. No one's listening, literally.
Yeah, no, just my girlfriend.
Yep.
Yeah. Honestly, it is weird to talk about it
Yeah.
in a way that's like
Uncomfortable.
it is.
Do you
It's
feel like they're gonna come after you?
No,
Are they
I
listening?
don't think that
Like,
they would come, no, I
yeah,
don't
but
think that they would come after me. But it's like
Well, you were trained.
It's, like,
you
so
were taught
crazy.
to never do this.
no, are you kidding?
Right?
Yeah,
that's
this
what I
is
mean.
like-
This is
This
you're,
is a big no-no.
you're already banished, bro.
Yeah, destroying the church. There's not destroying the church, but like talking about it with the
Yeah.
church. But like like you
Letting go of
kinda,
them
like,
secrets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude. It's,
Well, we can just talk about what they like, their history.
We'll bring up the secrets. How about that? And then you just have to sit there and react quietly because you don't want to say anything.
yeah. I mean, there's like the secret like thing is like really what goes on in the temple, and it's really not like. I mean, it's like public knowledge now, but it was like, you kind of like are taught growing up like you're never supposed to know what goes on in the temple like ever like.
Well, that's how they bring people up. That's what they learn from the Masons and like the old occult shit is like
Once
secrets.
you get invited,
Yeah,
you're in.
that's what keeps you in the church. Is maybe you'll get to
One
that
day
level.
You'll be in the temple.
And I want to learn the knowledge that they have that they're keeping from me. That's classic Masonic ritual shit.
Exactly.
And that part fascinates me because I think there is a lot of power in like
Withholding
withholding
yeah.
information. I mean, they talk about the Illuminati and like it's like almost like a meme now, but like it just means the illuminated ones. It means ones who know more, ones
Right.
who hold secrets.
Right. Who have knowledge
So,
that you don't, and you
yeah.
want it. And it's human
Yeah.
nature to go after things that you
Absolutely.
you don't have, and you want
And you
knowledge.
and you feel part of.
Mm. If they bring you in, you're in for life, because then you're like, man, they brought me into their fucking gang.
Yeah.
Anything that's exclusive, people are gonna want
Absolutely.
Right. It's crazy.
It's human nature. Like even that's why we love gossiping and like
Because you're in on something.
Yeah.
And you're talking about it with someone, but you aren't going to talk about it, and then you're with that person that you're talking about, and it's like,
how good does it feel when your friend comes? You're like, don't tell anybody, but
yeah,
it feels
and you're
so
like,
good. You're like, oh,
Tell me.
so
The
naughty.
secret.
yeah. That's
I
crazy.
mean, I judge it, but I do it. You know what I mean? Like in my
Yeah,
head, I'm like,
yeah.
oh, that's not right. But it's like, it's just it's human nature.
Give me 1 second.
Hey, well, now the food's actually here, and we're gonna pop. And we're back again. So sorry.
Yeah.
Chinese food made it. Don't worry, people.
I have a fascinating little thing about Brigham Young. So,
Tell me about it.
Obviously, no tolerance for Mormons who left or doubted, even began to doubt their faith. So you, who left. So he would order the deaths of people who tried to leave the faith. And this was Wild Bill Hickman, famed gunslinger and friend of Brigham Young, claimed that Young had ordered him to commit some of these murders. Isn't that fucking tight?
Yeah, that's
Wild
pretty.
Bill,
That's
man.
pretty gnarly. He was homies with Brigham Young,
Homie, dude.
and he was like, "Yo,
I
Bill,
mean-
I need you to go kill some people because they left the church."
Yep.
Yeah. Did you get that text I sent you about that Brigham Young quote? It was like,
Yeah, I think so.
I want to read that shit.
But yeah, that was the only way. What the sin of leaving Mormonism would be for that person, the only to be absolved of that sin, is to have his or her blood spilled on the ground.
God damn.
And now there's a college named after him.
Yeah.
It's a reputable college as well.
Yeah, Steve Young, man.
Steve
He's
Young.
a Mormon, famous Mormon.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's like very, very. We love Steve.
Yeah.
This is
I
another.
love Steve Young.
This is
He won the
another
Super Bowl.
quote, Brigham Young quote. So this is about black people. So buckle up.
And black people.
So he says, "Shall I tell you the law of God in regard to the African race? If the white man who belongs to the chosen seed mixes his blood with the seed of Cain, the penalty under the law of God is death on the spot. And
So-
this will always be so."
So if you have sex with someone black, you should be killed on the spot.
On
the spot.
Woo!
Punishable by death.
The
Mixed
prophet then was like, "I'm not, just kidding, guys. We're cool with it."
later on.
Oh, much later.
Once Brigham kind of left. And they're like, ooh, we gotta get
Well,
some
once
PR
no,
in
it's
here.
just it's once the rest of the world was like, that ain't okay. Then they were like, yeah,
Totally.
okay,
Well, that was
okay,
the
yeah,
whole
yeah.
thing with the original, like even Joseph Smith originally was like, I don't have any problem with like black, you know what I mean? But then the culture at the time was like, no, you gotta have like you can't say it. And so he's like, oh yeah, actually no, I hate black people. So the Mormons have always kind of gone with the flow in some ways.
But then took it to another level.
I'm interested to see what's gonna happen now with like the whole gay and that they're getting super attacked right now.
Yeah.
For every so
The
it's
prophet's
interesting.
gonna come out and say that
Say,
we're.
hey, guess
Absolutely.
I've had.
It'll happen.
It's definitely gonna happen.
I saw that Imagine Dragons documentary.
And it's gonna take.
So crazy.
You watched that.
Oh, yeah.
And I was watching it with you. You were fixated on it. You were,
Dude.
oh my god.
Well, it was weird because like that dude is like very, very much a part of the Mormon church, like served a mission, like did all the stuff, but then he's like, hey, I think the church is wrong. It's like that's not an idea you're supposed to have.
Yeah.
Right. It doesn't coincide with
At
someone
all.
that is into the church that much.
No, to think against it in that way, no way. And dude, that was crazy because they showed footage of like church going on, and then a little girl who was like 12 or 13 being like bearing her testimony, right? Testimony meeting and saying like, guess what? Like I'm a lesbian and I like girls, and her mom's filming it. And she's so proud.
Did they kill her?
I mean, they like cut her mic off and like ushered her back to her seat,
and then murdered her.
Could have put a kibosh on it.
Yeah.
They would have,
and then probably told the family they're not allowed anymore. They're probably
excommunication
she can't come back.
for sure.
You guys are done.
Yeah,
she's for sure. Yeah.
And if the mother's recording it,
yeah, God forbid you like girls when Joseph Smith married 14-year-old girls. It's not a big deal.
Right. But no. But, God said
Yeah,
that was
but
okay.
men can do whatever the fuck they want. At least back then.
Now they can't have sex with other men.
Dude, they could even do that, dude. Like behind closed doors. I'm sure.
Obviously, if no one ever knows about it, then no one ever knows about it.
Yeah, but it
saying
wasn't.
They're not
it's
okay
not
with
gay,
openly gay
you know
people.
What I mean? There's a difference
No.
between gay and fucking men.
I don't see it.
You don't see that one?
Nope.
All right.
Wow.
Can
Nick.
you
It's
not?
power move.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a
okay.
business thing.
I don't know.
It's business.
No, my point was more like, I think, maybe not just Mormonism, but like men of that time were so, it's like, yeah, I do that, but I'm not gay. You know what I mean? Like they were convinced,
Yeah,
and they like
if
fucked
you're-
each other.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh yeah, like in prison, like when
Yeah,
another inmate gets raped,
yeah.
they're like, I wasn't gay at all.
No, just gay for the
That's,
stay.
yeah,
man.
that's
Yeah.
my prison wife.
I just
Oh, that's so crazy. And like forced feminism on prison inmates. Have you ever seen shit like that? It's so
Yeah.
crazy. This shit makes me so. Ugh.
Mm.
But
I haven't seen anything like that. Is there documentaries on this?
yes.
Yeah.
I have to watch one.
Dude, you don't want it. Or maybe you do. I don't
do.
know.
Yeah.
It's
fucking
like,
crazy.
yeah, it's like, wow.
It's a sad life.
Yeah. Super sad. Anyway, but you do still have people in the church now that are like old and they still have that like old school mentality where they're just like super rah about all that shit.
And hating black people.
Hating black
Mhm.
people. Not, well, I mean, it's not, it's like a weird, it's not
It's like they just can't be a part
It's
of
like
us.
my
Yeah.
grandpa.
They're
It's like
fine
we-
over
it's
there.
Like, it's like we,
They're fine over there.
yeah, it's like we love you.
Yes,
But
but you're.
But you can't be a part of this.
You're
But
sinful.
because because the
They
belief,
look down on them.
look, the belief literally is that black people came from Cain, like Cain who killed his brother Abel. That because like in the Bible it talks about how once Cain killed Abel, God put a curse of blackness on his skin, or something to that effect of like Cain was now like cursed to look different. In the early like church history, there was like a story Joseph Smith told about how he met the original Cain.
Jesus Christ.
And to this day, Mormons believe that Cain is Bigfoot.
What?
Yeah, that's
The
like
actual Bigfoot.
the actual Bigfoot. Yeah, that's
This
Cain.
is the
because
stuff I want.
because
What?
hold on, because in
Oh,
the
yeah.
Bible it talks that Cain would walk the earth as a vagabond for all of eternity. So Mormons, the belief is that Cain is Bigfoot and
Like
ever the
Sasquatch.
big Sasquatch.
Holy
Yeah.
fucking shit.
See
Yeah.
this? I like this. This is
It's
juicy.
insanity.
Yeah. Well,
And-
there's
and
other
like 40 million
Dude,
people believe
Who's
this.
the Loch Ness monster?
There's-
Fucking Jesus or like Moses?
I don't
It's a
know
lady.
about
Split the
It's a lady
sea.
that had sex with a black man.
Ah,
She got
Loch
morphed
Ness.
into-
cursed
Yeah.
into a little sea monster.
Yeah.
There's other things too. There's like in the Book of Mormon it talks about how when Jesus visited like Mexico or Central America, wherever, there was like 3 super righteous like Indian dudes that Jesus blessed that they would never die,
Uh-huh.
and they're somewhere on the earth right now that we don't know where. Well, you know what I mean. It's like
Yeah.
there's like shit like that.
How do they just so?
Northern land. So the belief is that there's 3 immortal dudes somewhere like in Russia
Yeah.
or like Siberia or even like I want to say like Antarctica somewhere.
But how did when they go? Yeah, this is my religion. It was literally written by a crazy person. It's just a book written by a dude that we know. It's not like
It was originally
we have
written
any-
as a book and
Yeah,
sold
but
in
the
stores.
attachment from it, it's like this is we know who Joseph Smith was. It's not like the Old Testament where it's like holy, you know.
We don't. Yeah.
But
Yeah, we know.
but the claim is that it wasn't written by Joseph.
Oh, it was written through him.
No. Joseph translated
golden plate?
it.
Yes,
Yes.
the plates.
It-
But
it-
then didn't a bunch of them break?
Plates. He lost
What's
them.
that whole thing?
Oh
that he lost a
no!
bunch of
They
shit?
they
took 'em
stole.
back.
So this is what had happened.
Kept trying to get him.
So he had golden plates, right? And he had translated like a large portion of them.
Oh, homegirl. Yeah.
And they were stolen, or that he had given them to somebody else and let them borrow, or like something happened to the writings where like he didn't have them anymore.
He had a partner, and his wife was like, "Okay, let me see him if it's real," because his wife's partner didn't believe that it was real.
That's
Yeah.
it.
And was
Yes.
like, okay, let me see him. And then she got them from him, his like buddy that was working with him, and because this guy was trying to prove to his wife that this is
and
legit.
he believed it.
Yeah, he was
Homeboy
in.
was in.
And then his wife's like, oh, let me check him out. And she got rid of him and was like, if it's real and he didn't write it, he'll be able to do it again.
Mhm.
Yeah, and he couldn't.
Yeah, but he still fucking Yeah, but he was still had that way with the gift of gab, dude. He talked.
He's
to
like,
not with her.
I spoke to God, and
Not
it's
with her,
changed.
but with everyone else.
It's so weird. It's such a real thing though too. I see it similarly in like that idea to like twist the truth, where it's like you don't even know, like it's like weird. It's like I've been watching a lot of like court cases and court documentaries, like a lot of like the Casey Anthony and like a lot of like the OJ Simpson and a lot of people who are just like clearly guilty, guilty, and then like
you manipulate.
They just manipulate it in court to where just like I guess not.
Juries are stupid.
I don't know.
You just have so many things that it could be, and you're like, I don't even like.
Yeah.
There's too much going on, basically.
That's how I feel. Like that's what I imagine goes on with like back in the day. Like Joseph Smith had that ability to do that. To, like,
right. He had an answer instantly that he just it came up in his head, but he could do it so well, and it would be different to someone else. Someone else, and they'd all be like, I didn't.
Well, and people were way less educated. Most people couldn't even read and write back then.
Right.
So it's like.
Right, this is
it's
the word of
easy
God.
to manipulate stupid people. Right. Really easy.
Originally, the Book of Mormon was written with like no punctuation whatsoever.
Yeah.
It was and.
Well, he could barely read and write. Like he was not that literate.
Well, allegedly, that's the story, right? Mm-hmm. That's kind of what they want. That's like part of like the thing about it's so true. Like that's a lot of things you hear about people who are like, and I know it's true because Joseph Smith was just a young boy and he had no education and he couldn't even speak, but he translated this book and it's like the most amazing piece of whatever who
is it a good
in
read?
The world. No. I mean, you know what? It's interesting. And let me tell
the Bible,
you something.
It's a good read. If you're just reading, no. If you're just like it's artistic. It's not that like it's not the story. If you're reading it as a fucking not like a story, it's like it's a good story. I'm not saying that like, and it's artistic. It's well written.
Yeah, I agree. And that whole there's like a lot of versions of like the, I guess Bible like had like as far as like humans started to document history moving forward. Like the Bible's just one of them. Like a lot of other texts from other religions go back just as far and detail a flood that came through and killed everybody. They also detailed like versions of like in natural, what is it called when someone just gets pregnant without having sex?
Immaculate.
Yeah, immaculate. There's like versions of that with like the Virgin Mary. There's versions of even
well, that's
like,
not real.
Well, yeah, but like that idea of a virgin and being pure and like that's like
she be fucking.
Yeah, she didn't want to tell Dad.
Yeah,
like, no.
I know what you're saying.
There's also versions of resurrection and like you know what I mean, like so it's like the Bible being a good. I mean, yeah, it is. It's interesting, well, especially when you read it and you start to realize like how much the words have like influenced history and like you kind of like go through it as just like, whoa, this is kind of like what has made everything sort of has affected everything around it. Like
it's powerful.
Yeah, I mean, it was probably written. It's like pretty innocently in a lot of ways. The Old Testament, the New Testament.
Thought it was going to turn into this.
It's just you could take like any book, take a comic book, and you could make that scripture and be like, Spider-Man said that we shall shoot forth web at the darkies. You know what I mean? Like, dude.
No, you take Star Wars and like the Sith Lord, the light, the dark side. It is like
totally.
Well, the story of Star Wars is a lot of influenced by like.
Oh yeah,
that idea of good and evil and the savior. It's like it's crazy. It's an idea that's kind of been like
it's human.
Like, it's very very attractive to humans because like that whole like even everything, dude. Like a lot of like that storyline of like the one that will save everybody. You know what I mean? Like that's like even going into like think of how, like Star Wars for sure. Like the Matrix,
Superman.
Neo, the one. Yeah, I mean in a way, all the superhero movies.
An angel
living God.
coming, living God. Yeah. Coming
the
to Earth.
One that will be born.
Well, we only know what we know, that came before us.
I'm sure, technically all that shit is like, if you think about it, like Superman, like no one just came up with that. It's based on like your life and what goes on in this world. So God, you made a human person out of God, and we're like, I'll give him. This dude can fly. He can pick things up. Yeah. He's human.
How do you think we learn to do anything? do you think we just learned thought and learned like how to create concepts, or do you think we were given something by another being, race, or intelligence from somewhere else?
Like evolutionarily speaking.
Yeah, and then that's passed on. Like from the there was things that have been giving or supplanted into our conscience. You know what I mean? And we've gone with that.
Yeah.
But like, do you think it just came, or do you think it was supplanted?
That is the $1 million
The
question.
pyramids.
Yeah,
How
I'll
did
tell
we
you-
think
question.
of like to build the pyramids or the etc.
I mean, I'll tell you this.
We just went, we should build a giant triangle. Oh, that makes sense in my.
It's a tomb.
Yeah,
I think so. I think like they've done studies that fear response to certain things is genetic.
Mm-hmm.
Like they've done a study on, they've tried to they've showed like spiders from like monkeys in a controlled environment where they have had no experience with spiders or any kind of like things like that, and there's like a fear response that stimulates. So
but that's
there's
like
certain
survival.
genetics.
That's like
I mean,
but
I think
without
lizard
learning
brain.
it, but
there's
and
stuff
it's-
that gets passed down from generation to generation. Like you go to parts of the world where there's like apes, and like this clan learned how to use stick tools, and they're born and they know how to do it. This clan that lives close by doesn't use stick tools, and it's just because of genetic being passed. What?
those ones suck.
Yeah, those
Like just go to your fucking
Stickless
neighbor,
monkeys.
dude. You know what I mean? Just
What?
walk on over, dude.
Yeah.
You know,
What?
Learn
dog.
fucking.
Learn to use a fucking stick, dog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was like confused.
Fuck,
for
dude.
a second.
Went very not serious.
Yeah.
Turn there.
No, but that's a good point. I mean, why are there pyramids?
Yeah,
in
I mean,
lots of different areas.
I
of
like
the world.
the idea that we were given. Yeah, I don't know if it's like at some point throughout time and history we've been like given without knowing it knowledge.
From what?
$1 million question.
Yeah.
The Greys.
Obviously.
No, but in some sort of other intelligence or energy
Something bigger than us.
or
Yeah.
that's
But
the theory that we we mated with these other beings.
But I want to believe that, but then I also can I wrap my head around the pyramids, for instance, though they saw pharaohs as living gods.
Yeah, but with the placement though.
Oh, I know. I don't know. I don't know.
It's insane how they're like perfect. I don't know.
They face Mecca or something. I don't know.
No, they're like astrologically with the stars. They're and you can pinpoint exact area. It's crazy.
Is it just chance? I don't know.
No, dude. It's too much for chance.
So check this out. If that's true, then this thing that's downloading us knowledge in ways that we don't really understand may have some sort of intent of how the evolutionary humanity kind of moves through time, right? So in a way, I sort of believe the Bible in a way, because it's sort of like that download within a certain family or group of people kind of moving through time in a I don't know.
It's a way to
what
direct
if
course.
what if it's more of an evolutionary thing than a God thing? What if I don't know really what I'm trying to say. What if that was actually true?
The Bible.
Yeah. In a way, that was just sort of
I mean, I'm sure that there's probably a lot of truth to it, but I feel like things get I could tell you I got in a car accident and it'd be it was crazy, and this car, and the kid got hit and he flew 600 feet, and it's he got hit and he fell, he flew a little
and you
bit,
can read
but then
between
the
the
story
lines.
gets
Yeah.
and it.
But
That's true.
I also think
There was a dude that fed people.
Yeah, we were given certain knowledge, and I think we blew it at some point with technology. I think it's evolving too fast. This is from somebody else. I heard someone talk about this, but that we were supposed to kind of learn, love and how to get along, basically, and tolerance, all these things, but we didn't learn it in time almost, and technology beat us to it. And how fast technology has been growing. You know what I mean? Like, and I think there's some that's like intentional. You know what I mean? Like, there's like these secrets we talked about, like the general idea of how we're supposed to be living, and the world is connected, and understanding spirituality, understanding energy, and how we're all interconnected, and the bigger picture. But we blew it because technology is just come too fast, too far, and it's continuing.
I feel like the reason why we get to, technology, and we like, it's there's so much about it that it's just competitive nature. Being better, doing better than this company, than this, and like being the best country. Do you think competitiveness is a human trait?
Of course.
Or only a human trait?
I think it's an animalistic trait.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Are there animals that you can see like that? They compete to do well. They love, a dog wants to get to the ball before the other dog just because it wants the ball, not because it just wants to be like, I'm fucking better than you. Like humans, we want to be better, not because we're like proud of it. We want to be better just so we're better than you.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's human and not like an animalistic thing. I mean, I guess it goes back to probably even deeper, which is like survival. If I'm better at you than this, then I will survive and you will die.
I mean, money.
It's animalistic at its heart, I believe.
Yeah. I just, it's money too.
Yeah.
And we were
with the technology, 100%.
Dude, that's the thing. Like, so that's a truth, right? So that whole idea of like, for me, like, I sometimes go back and forth between like, oh, like God put us down here, like, oh, we should love everybody, and that should be the goal, is to love and connect with everybody, which I think is like true, but like also like that's the same God that would definitely want you to like kill your enemies.
Yeah, but God is so much more than that.
Right.
God isn't.
I don't think God would ever be like, you should kill your enemies. I think
isn't it though? I mean, if competition is such a part of everything,
we didn't learn.
Life.
That's what my point was. Like we didn't get a chance to learn the bigger picture.
Right. We were.
You know what I mean? Like technology in the last 60 years it's insane.
Well, I think that we've also because I understand. Basically, where it's the same thing where we've gotten too smart for our own good, and because we have this input from technology where we can gain all this knowledge quickly,
we don't need to.
In the last 100 years, just based on IQ, I believe we've just gotten it's just higher now.
Yeah, and I think I think it's gonna go down. I think
I've heard a lot of crazy things about how there's eventually gonna be two basically like the elites in the world, taller, better looking, different shape,
it's gonna be idiocracy,
ugly, short, dumb people.
Yeah,
and they'll be two separate species at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll all be the same color.
No, but I think God is everything, right? So God is us. God is killing. God is loving. God is all of it. But we never learn the meaning. Why? The bigger picture, how we're connected. I don't think God is a thing that does something. It's like an idea, an energy.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
So it's not it's the same God that says kill as say love. Those are both things that are us.
But don't you think in a way not that we are God, but whatever is pulsating through everything, I think is God. That's kind of how I see
Yeah. And I don't think we understand it, and I think that's where we were supposed to figure that out. I think we blew it.
Yeah, but okay, then
I think everything has to be taken away. Everything has to be taken away.
I believe that, and I think that at some point there will be some sort of something that happens that causes us to lose technology and just have to revert back to how we should be, which is living.
Yeah. Well, I don't. Again, though, I don't think it's a should. I think we at least this is what this guy was saying. We did it too early. You know what I mean? Technology's not evil, but we didn't learn. We didn't learn how to figure it out before we found and progress so much as a society. So it has to be all taken away to actually relearn it. Maybe.
I think we didn't progress enough emotionally.
Yeah,
to deal with the current state of the world
and social media and the insane
people kill themselves because someone says something.
Right now, the country the world is getting more and more divided.
Yeah,
and it's getting smaller at the same time.
Yeah, and I don't want to talk politics, and it's not a political podcast, but let's just say with Trump, if we're fucked, if he gets elected or if he doesn't, because the Democrat that comes in is going to go so far the opposite. So he went super right. Whoever's coming in is going to go super left, and it's going to create more rift. It's going to be like they're just going to drive our country into the fucking
the left
ground.
and the right even more.
Right.
You know, it's going to, because they have to. They're like, well, it's Bernie. Imagine if Bernie
In order
becomes
to
president,
get elected,
he's going to create like as socialist a society, and I'm not saying anything about, but he's going to create as leftist a society as he can to kind of balance back from Trump, which
and
is
then
going
it'll
to
just
fuck
constantly
everything.
like we've gotten like
We
farther
need- yeah.
from like
There's no
like,
rational
agreeing
thinkers.
with like, oh, I
Yeah.
you know, it's like you say you're right.
Mm-hmm.
You just block out the fact that
Yeah.
you might even like that side, but in order to get in power, you can't.
Yeah.
There's too many people telling you, nope,
Yeah.
nope. you
What
can't do
what
that.
I want, Democrat or Republican, just someone that is like kind of rational and pretty level-headed. That's all I want right now. Like that's what we need.
Do you vote?
I have my own theories on it. I have started, but mainly out of peer pressure.
Yeah. I've never voted.
Because I hate when people,
I
you
just-
can't say anything. Don't
No. Honestly, I've never voted. And I sort of have this feeling that, like, I don't know, it's not that it's all bullshit, because I know it's, like, it's sort of all bullshit, though. But, like, because, like you say, like, I feel like the whole, like, everybody right now, every injustice, they always attack the person and not the system.
Yeah.
Perpetuating it.
Well,
Do you know what I
that's the
mean?
whole
Like it's
point of it.
because but then it just continues. Like
Oh,
no
yeah.
one's really gonna
Well,
get anywhere as long as they continue attacking
there's-
the people with
Well,
the
I mean,
fucking
even-
with the
There's
Me
too
Too
much-
shit.
there's too
Well,
much.
even with the government in the way it is, it's like instead of like our government's fucked, it's like no, Trump sucks.
Yeah.
When in
Yeah.
reality, it is
It's
like
it's
there's
really not.
so
Like
many
I don't
people
think as Trump.
behind
I
the
mean,
scenes.
Trump, like you
He's
say,
the face.
yeah.
He's the face of the government. It's not that he's not the one making all the decisions. And I'm not.
I mean,
I'm not saying just Trump.
he's
is,
a clown,
Right.
Which is crazy that we have literally a clown as a president, but not even out of political stuff. But I lost my train of thought.
Well, I mean, it ultimately comes back. He's. It's his personality that's he's a clown. That's
Yeah.
it's the personality, but
The reason I don't vote or wouldn't vote potentially is there's too much money and power for it actually to be in people's hands. And
Right.
democracy on that level, democracy works, but on that level, you're gonna leave it to fucking a bunch of dumb people, including myself.
I just
Not-
I just imagine like there's some super smart agency behind all of it,
Absolutely.
and they kind of are just kind of laughing to themselves as they
100%.
are in control of
Dude,
oh
I
fuck,
think-
we'll throw George Bush in there. Oh my gosh, dude, check this out.
Yeah,
oh my,
yeah.
it's so funny. Oh, and then like, oh dude, we'll throw a black guy in there. Awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we'll see
I
how
think
the
it's time
country
to
does
see
that.
how
We'll
a
win
woman
back.
takes a
Oh my
woman.
gosh,
Yeah.
Trump. Oh, who you think? Oh yeah, we'll
Yeah,
get
yeah.
Trump to be president.
I think they're all they're in the back. Democrats and Republicans, they're in the back laughing and fucking counting their money.
Mm-hmm.
Hillary Clinton and Trump go on dinner dates. You know what I mean? Like and they laugh at like, look how much we tricked these idiots.
Yeah.
yeah, but then,
100%.
but then there's people that are, I don't know. Yeah, no.
And if
I
you
understand.
aren't, there's no way to become without, like, on a basic level, there's no way to become that powerful without, like, being like, yes, I'll do your bidding. Yes. You know what I mean? Even just, like, on stuff we know, you know, like, they have to appease corporations. They have, you know what I mean? I'm not saying anything wrong with that, but, like, you think
Well,
there's
no,
not somebody behind that, like, hey, man, you're going to need to do X, Y, and Z. And they're like,
Ultimately,
yeah.
I believe that a lot of the time, president is just a guy that says the things that everyone else is telling him he has
Yeah.
to say. It's like I'm just gonna be the face of
Mm-hmm.
of like the decisions, but they're not mine.
No. I feel like that's where they, like, I don't know. These people just kind of come off as just really, like, I
Ignorant.
don't know. Like, yeah, they just kind of come off, like, really, like, not really, like, I don't know. All of their stances and opinions are just really, like,
Well, it's all
What do you mean?
appeasing something. Whether
it
it's
just
their-
doesn't wow me.
it-
Like,
it's
I don't
a-
really believe you. Like, I don't really.
No.
Like, it's not. You never get like a William Wallace type of like
They don't
Braveheart
believe
dude as
anything
president.
they're saying. It's what will get me elected. That's all it is.
Yeah.
I think that it's. I mean, I think there has been presidents that do have that power, but I think in more recent history, the position of president has lost weight.
Totally.
So much weight.
Dude,
where
and
you have like, when you look back during, you got Eisenhower, and it's like you hear that name during war, and you listen to the speech, and it's like fucking powerful, and people sat by their fucking radio their fucking little radio and listened to it every night for.
I still think that there was someone behind him
Oh no, I
pulling the
agree.
strings, and I think they just were much better at it.
I guess it
They
goes
did a
with
great
everything,
job.
but we're more separated now. So
You know
there's
what I
like,
Yeah,
there's
the
like
country was definitely more patriotic. back
Yeah,
then.
absolutely.
the most patriotic it's been in recent history is after 9/11.
Yeah.
Patriotism hit a fucking high.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Flags everywhere, and that shit brought us together in a lot of ways. And
Mhm.
then time.
Time.
The endless war.
Father time, you son of a bitch.
Well, we're not a political podcast, but that's just none of this is serious. We're stupid people.
No, we're just into the.
I know nothing about politics.
Yes, Illuminati do not come after
Yeah,
us.
please don't
Yeah.
kill me.
Trump. We're just kidding.
Ha ha ha.
So is this hooked up to a computer? Oh yeah, they're listening.
Oh yeah. I got a camera
think,
right
like,
here.
Yeah, I don't know. They say,
This should be
And-
just a conspiracy podcast.
dude,
Well,
it,
dude, it's in the chips, bro. We talked
Oh.
about anything and everything in the chips.
Right.
You know what I'm
Already
saying?
today, it's gone a lot of
We
places.
can
I
go
like
conspiracy.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
it. Interstellar travel.
Which is
Witches.
Yeah. There's an article.
I was gonna
Witches?
say which is possible, but you
Oh,
thought I
witches.
said
No,
witches.
We could do a witch.
Interstellar travel?
fuck with
Witches?
Do a occult magic, fucking sex magic. We did kind of on our other
Well, we
podcast,
actually
but
did.
Cool.
yeah, we could go even further into it. Yeah, I just was reading. Speaking of that, a big NASA guy, former guy, said UFOs are 100% real.
Well, yeah,
Article.
for sure,
Well,
sure.
I'm just saying, for him to say that, it's pretty big.
I mean, UFOs, yeah,
Is-
unidentified flying.
yeah,
So,
so-
basically, I get that. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, there's some shit that we do not understand.
But that's
Right.
not from
Like,
us.
It's
just that-
not
Not
like
from us.
Right.
can be
So-
explained.
Well, just not that long ago, there was a meteor that passed by that had a strange shape and slowed down, then sped up, leaving us.
Yeah, but you don't believe in aliens, Greg.
Never said that. Never said that.
Oh, not you don't believe in intelligent
Never said that.
life. All right.
What?
I don't know.
No, I do.
Okay.
I
Good.
100% do. I know
Good.
there's life out there. There has to be.
Yeah.
Just based on math alone, the size of the universe.
Yeah.
How could there not be? If this shit all just happened by chance,
There's only two options.
but you guys know about the Fermi paradox, don't you?
what's up with the Fermi?
Oh boy.
And I'm getting a Fermi thinking
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
The Fermi paradox means that because of the math and because of the numbers, that there would have had to be some intelligent life that
That's what
would
I'm
have
saying.
It has
made itself known to us
It
already,
has.
and because
That
it
goes
hasn't,
back. It has.
well,
though.
We don't know. Me and you
that
don't
goes
know.
back to the knowledge is power, right? They take that seriously.
Area 51.
Somebody
bro.
knows,
somebody knows.
and I
but
do believe that
Or everyone that knows.
there's a reason
yeah.
they don't tell us, and I think it probably is a good one. Again, we're a bunch of idiots.
Well,
who
no,
are
we would
live in
kill
fear.
everyone.
Yeah, we'd be like, "Oh, alien, not my type." Like, think about how we are to each other if we're not the same color skin.
Well, no, it'd be
Like,
it'd
oh,
be-
you're from another universe. You're dead.
You're from another universe, and your civilization is
Yeah.
just so much more advanced than ours. That would be like, well,
Oh, you're blue.
they're-
Well, I'm a bluist.
it's too
now.
much to handle. Got to kill people.
Yeah.
Better go
So-
loot the TV store.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
they say
But there's
Based on
two-
math,
in
I like this. I mean, it's Fermi.
There's two
Yeah,
options
the
though.
Fermi.
It's either there's another intelligent life, or we're just in a fucking Matrix, Truman Show type
Which
bullshit
I-
game thing.
Dude, I always go back to that. Like, I sort of, like, that kind of would make a lot of sense. Like, that would make a lot of sense.
So then, what I mean,
A simulation.
Yeah.
yeah, but then what's the like? So then there is no point. None of this has a point.
Well, it doesn't need. It's literally potentially for us. It's so huge, but it could be so tiny.
Right.
Literally a
I know.
computer.
Just like in
program.
Men in Black when where the universe is a marble and
Yeah.
one in an alien's marble sack,
Yeah.
and there's a ton of others,
Yeah.
and he just trades them with his friends, plays marbles.
Yeah. Your earthquakes. That's them playing marbles.
Mm. so then the whole universe is within one of the, it's just one thing's sandbox potentially.
Well,
Because
our
ultimately, like I'm
universe, yeah.
saying,
Or there is no
Because-
universe, and we've just made that up. It's all part of our simulation that's been downloaded into our brains to make us.
well,
think
but
that
because
there is.
but then we're getting into crazy shit.
Well,
I'm just saying.
Oh, we didn't. We
No,
were.
no. What I'm just saying is that like I'm talking about like you have a telescope and you can see things change, light years away and things move and
Can you though?
I mean.
Yeah, I mean, like I can look in a kaleidoscope too.
I understand, but then we're getting into like the like nothing's real territory.
Well, if we're saying it's a simulation, then nothing's real.
Right, but I'm saying if the simulation is our universe, so everything in that universe is real to us, but it's a simulation because outside of that, then there's something else. So the simulation could be, I'm saying it's not just this planet, and we're looking at a hole with pictures of, a wall with pictures of planets doing things.
That's what I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a barrier.
There's an LCD screen surrounding Earth.
Yeah, we find like for us, it's all millions of light years away, but it's just like it's over there.
I have this feeling like when we die, or because I believe that there's a life after this one. I do, and I have a feeling that in that life we're gonna realize that the truth really is so much crazier and so much
What if
weirder
it's just super lame
and sillier and hilarious that we could have ever possibly imagined.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it breaks all the...
Do you think that you have to be a good person to find that out?
No, there is no good and bad. It's not a real thing. It's a human construct.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think.
I agree more with.
I mean, someone who murders someone it's a mental illness. It's something that's
I think there's
in their
evil.
brain.
I
don't think they're necessarily evil. You can make the argument. I believe a lot of different
in
things.
this world, they're evil.
Okay. Yeah, but again, evil's made up. So, but then they die and they go to an evil place.
No, I'm not like in take away the like afterlife thing. I believe that good people, bad people die, and I think that it's the same, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, but now I'm just getting into a different thing. Do you think that like
someone
raping and murdering children is not evil?
Well, no, I'm arguing this side, but they're born. Let's say, person is born. We just did a podcast. They're horrendously abused, and they have a different wiring in their brain, and they were hit on their head, and it doesn't for them. They don't feel anything when they do it. Like, yes, you know what I mean? So, like, it's not evil. Their intent, it's not like they want to watch the world burn. It's like...
I think some people do.
Yeah, but again, I think that's still, like, so they could feel something. Because they can't feel anything.
Ultimately, what you're saying is you don't think it's their fault.
It's, personal responsibility. You know what I mean? Like, but...
I'm saying that I understand exactly what you're saying, but I think that with today's construct, it is, like...
Yeah, but
they know what's okay and what's not.
No, I don't think so.
Well, no, I mean, with certain things, you're right.
They literally, I think they feel nothing and they do it to feel anything. Like, imagine feeling nothing.
At times, it sounds nice.
Yeah, but you desire to feel something
I think it's
more
human
than
nature.
anything.
Yeah.
And if the only thing that
You'd go
could
to
make you
any length.
feel was to kill or do some shit like that.
Sure, yeah, you do it.
And you had something off in your brain where that had no moral, you're like morals,
There's no
not a
conscience.
thing. There's
That
no
makes
conscience.
You feel guilty afterwards.
Is that really their evil, or is it just it's literally like science? It's literally like
for them, it's like their way of living.
Well, because I've always thought that like the idea of hell, like I understand in a way, because like I always felt like hell was kind of more about like your experience on earth. Like I feel like heaven and hell are like here. That's why like guilt and like shame or whatever is kind of part of like hell. But then it goes to the, like people who don't feel that. It's like I always think like, well, what's their punishment? Because guilt and shame is like the worst in a way. It's like the worst punishment.
We do that to ourselves too.
Well, yeah, but like for people who don't have guilt and shame about the bad things they do, like, is there any retribution or like, is there any?
Well, and my point, I think retribution is self-imposed either way. We choose to feel guilt. We choose to feel shame.
I don't think it's a choice.
Yes, it is. You can. If you're. I had a lot of shame.
If I do something terrible, I can't like not feel bad about it.
Okay, but that's on a general. But then you get over it. Like it's like, oh, you know what I mean?
I don't know.
But you can. But shame is punishing yourself for something you did, right?
Yeah.
That's not healthy. You can go to therapy. You know, you can get that out of you. You don't have to feel that way. It's a choice.
Yeah, then that makes me go back to the idea that nothing matters.
Right.
Yeah.
You know
I don't
what
think
mean?
it
I
does.
always return. It's like so weird.
I
but
don't
I
like,
guess
think
I guess the afterlife thing gives you a reason to be good.
Well, I don't think anything matters. You can still choose to live and be a good person and enjoy your stay.
Ultimately, normally being a good
You know what I
person
mean?
makes you a happier person.
That's
which
all I
if
think
you're
it is.
like, I live to be happy.
Yeah, that's all it is. Enjoy it while you can, but nothing really matters.
Right.
yeah,
That's all. That's what I think it is.
Yes, I believe. Yes.
And if enjoying it while you can is that you feel nothing and you have to rape and murder, you know what I mean? Hey, shoot your shot.
Yeah. Well, you'll get locked up or you'll get
Yeah,
away.
yeah. I mean, yeah, you'll face the consequence.
Things
but,
happen.
dude, I don't know.
I also see. I have like I have these ideas where like I like the idea. Like I can believe in an idea where we like when we die we find out everything, and then but at the same time I also kind of like the idea of like, you know, maybe I'll come back as something different.
I don't think we find out anything. I think we literally instantly pass, like you just said, pass on to another. I think
Energy.
being life form energy that's transferred.
Right.
I have this feeling that
Well,
when
energy
we
has
all
to
die,
be transferred.
right. I have a feeling that when we all die, we don't really stay with our own individual memories of our life experience. Everything gets conglomerated into one, and
Pieces
you
of
exist.
everyone else's.
You exist in this thing where you have lived millions and billions of lives that have spread out through like this dimension, but like in the next
But
dimension,
I
you
do-
just all come back to the same thing, like a drop of water back into the ocean.
But
you
have
kind
you
of
ever
like are everything.
Met like a kid who you can like, dude, that's an old soul, and like, or a kid that's
Yeah.
like not, you know what I mean? You can
Biggie
tell they're
Smalls.
just like, da, 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 da,
I
you know
just
what I
think
mean?
that's just personality.
Yeah, but there's some, dude. But kids have.
I've been told I have an old soul.
When they haven't developed a personality yet, and they're like, wow, there's like a calmness about them. I think again, it's theory. I have no idea, but I think that we collect pieces of our past and like are connected to our past lives.
Super subconsciously, obviously. It's
Oh,
not like a memory.
no, you have no idea. But like, maybe that sometimes when people have these weird moments where they're like, yeah, I remember, you
Like
know what I
a
mean? These
deja vu,
dreams
but
or
deeper.
things that they could never like know about, like in the
Yeah.
past. Like I feel connected to da da da.
Maybe if
Yeah.
you're a shitty person, you come back as a
Yeah.
fly that dies immediately.
Yeah,
And
maybe
if you're
that's the
good,
whole
you're a fucking
transgender
dolphin.
thing. You know, maybe they're just really connecting to their past lives as men.
Ooh.
Like people who are like, I feel
That'd
like I
be
should be
Right.
living in
Lived
France
1,000
because
lives as a man
I
and then they're
identify
a
with
woman.
French people. It's like, well, maybe they were French back in the day, dude. I don't know.
Right, they feel more comfortable around a certain
Yeah.
group.
Well, that's a whole nother
What if
thing.
you just identified as French?
Bro,
I'm French.
I feel
Oh,
like at
that's-
some point that's going to
people
be
are doing
acceptable.
Like, you just
Dude, let's say that this kind of culture moves forward and it becomes, you can just identify as anything at any time, and then you die and there really is a God who's like, he'll just be like so confused, dude. Like you're just a white man, like, no, I'm a 14-year-old like Asian octopus. Like, no,
No,
like,
dude.
no, God, I identified as an Asian octopus, and you can't tell me
You'd be like, you
what
guys are all
I
fucked
am.
up down there.
God's like,
God's like, I'm killing all of you. I'm
Right.
starting over, dude. You guys are retarded.
These guys were like beta 1 and I fucked
I know,
up.
dude. It's so
Jesus.
stupid. Someone wrote an article. This is just to end. There's a bunch of these in like one of those Huffington Posts or some shit like that. Like that. This dude's made a joke. He made a joke, Michael Shea, on Saturday Night Live about trans, like about Caitlyn Jenner, and they literally said it was a hate crime and a physical, like an actual attack on.
So he became a
Trans
terrorist
people.
by a joke.
Yeah, no, like assault, physical assault, by making a joke, and they were
Dude.
dead serious. They wrote an entire article.
Oh my god. You know what? Jokes need to be written out, and also no words can be no words can be. I don't know. I just don't think words can ever
This is a
be an
professional
attack.
journalist, though.
I know, but
I don't even know what to
they're,
think
they're
about
hiring
that.
20-year-olds that are fucking
but
snowflakes.
that's gonna be our older generation eventually. That's
Oh, I
gonna
know,
be
it's
the
not-
norm.
It's not good.
Yeah, I don't even know. What to
I don't
think
really
about
get
that.
it, but
It doesn't even
That's like,
connect for me. That like there's enough people that could be like, yeah, run it. Yeah, run that. Put that front
Yeah.
page.
that they truly believe it is what shocks me. I think people like to just be a victim. I think it's just that's part of it.
And just get
yeah,
it's attention.
It's attention. It's like I'm the victim. I matter. I'm of
I
importance.
matter.
I matter.
Right.
I matter.
Well, we're at an hour and 15 minutes.
Mm.
We're gonna wrap it up. I think it was a good intro podcast for.
Thanks
In
for
the
having
Chips.
me, guys. Hopefully, we'll do many more to come.
Absolutely.
We will.
Wednesday nights.
Wednesday nights, we'll make it a thing.
Wednesday night
Alright.
in the chips.
In the Chips with Andy the Milkman Ottesen, Greg the Killer Camp, and
That
me,
milk.
Nick Beelzebub, Bernard. Oh, peace.